As we prepare to begin our upcoming net, here are a few points of interest. You can follow along with the check-in process by visiting bit.ly/ECR log. From this page, you can select the net you're interested in and view the log in real time. Again, that URL is bit.ly/ECR log. The text line available for checking in. Text your call sign, and only your call sign, to 716-317-9050. You will receive a confirmation of your check-in, and Net Control will work you in at the appropriate time. This option is not for in and out. If you check in using this method, please plan on sticking around and participating. Again, the phone number is 716-317-9050. Please stand by for the net beginning shortly. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the East Coast Reflector TechNet number 618. 618 on this Tuesday, April 22nd of 2025. I'm Dick, WB2JPQ, along with Scott, W2BLT, and Kevin, KE7K, will be your net control stations this evening for our net. We start out and see if anybody from the ECR team has anything that they would like to announce. After that, we see if we have any silent keys. There were none that came in from our database today, which was good. Don't want anybody in. And Joe is here tonight, KD2TFE, and he's going to charm us with the celebrity of the week. Always a mystery ride till then I will put it out to new users that have never checked into this net before. Never checked into this net before, we want to get you up at the top of the list. After we get through that, we'll take stations with radio related questions. Hopefully we'll have some good questions and get some answers tonight. And after that, if I can remember, Kevin, if you're listening, remind me if I can. I will send it up to B3, I think, weeks in a row, to see what we have on our swap-in shop. So that's kind of our lineup for tonight. Our question tonight, and I believe it came from Vicky. I think it's a good question. Pretty good. Have you ever been gifted any ham radio equipment? Have you ever been gifted any ham radio equipment? You know, in our fraternity here, we things around. If you get a new ham, get a new ham in the area, and you've got an old transceiver or something that you're not using, we usually send it on down and gift it to somebody, and the same when his turn comes. So that's our question for tonight. Have you ever been gifted any amateur or ham radio equipment? We'll see if any of our ECR team members have anything that they would like to report to the group tonight. BLT. Well, there's my co-chair for the night. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Dick, and everybody on the net. I just want to put it out there that the Morning Brew is always looking for good questions that can be answered fairly quickly, because there's many, many people in the morning that are trying to get in, and doing 900 nets so far. We're having to repeat stuff, and so if you have a question that you'd like to pose and it can be answered, in a very timely fashion, you can send it to any of the net there, and we're good on QRZ. Or you can send it to the Godfather himself. That's all I got. Thanks, Dick. W2BLT.
Yep, that's so true. And there is a place on our site, I think it was a question that came in through the groups.io today. There is a spot on our website, eastcoastreflector.com, and go up under Contact Us, or I think that's what it says. I think it's Contact Us or Contacts or something like that. And there's a spot to report problems, morning brew questions, I believe TechNet questions, and there's 4 or 5 different things there, problems and so forth. So that's always a good way as well from our website. So thank you, Scott. Anybody else from our ECR team that has anything to report here for the group tonight? Doesn't sound like it. Our system flagged no silent keys tonight. I will take a standby to see if anyone has a silent key amateur fraternity, preferably from the ECR family, that they would like to have tonight. Like I said, our system flagged none this week, which is great. So does anyone have a silent key that they would like to have remembered here this evening? Well, that's good. In all 2 counts. It's all going to be all yours, Joe. Going to send it over to you and enlighten us here tonight. Who's the celebrity of the week? 82TFB.
Thank you there, Dick. I would like to say, nobody. Whenever people try and give me gifts, they know I'm quite the techies, and for the most part, they're non-technical people, so they don't know what to get me in that realm, so I've never gotten a ham radio gift. So, on to the call sign of the week. As with many of these, the primary source for this episode was the English language Wikipedia, and is therefore subject to the Creative Commons Attribution Share-alike 4.0 license. I thought I would feature Don today because he is a spry 70 years and 2 days old. He is an Eagle Scout and hails from Silverton, Oregon. He earned his Bachelor's of Science in Chemical Engineering from Oregon State University in 1978, PhD from the University of Arizona in 1983. It's kind of funny sometimes how people study one thing in college, but large parts of their careers take a different turn. Don is a little more famous for astrophotography, not chemical engineering, having captured thousands of unique star trails and photographic data, which he regularly shares online. He was part of the 161-day Expedition 6 to the ISS from November 2002 through May 2003. That's right, Don was stuck on the ISS a little longer than planned due to the Columbia disaster. He had to come home on a Soyuz spacecraft. Don was also on STS-126 and Expedition 31. Before I continue, I think I might want to unkey the repeater just so it doesn't time out. But one of the more fun things we did on Expedition 30 was to team up with Rovio Entertainment to demonstrate physics in microgravity by using some toys to play a physical version of Angry Birds Space in March of 2012. He also presented a TED Talk called The Tyranny of the Rocket Equation. I think the details of this present are fascinating, but I'll give you a quick statistic here. The typical proportion of spacecraft payload, like people and equipment, is only 2 to 5%. There's maybe another 10% of the spacecraft itself, and the remainder is propellant and oxidizer. Today's celebrity call sign of the week is Kilo Delta 5, Mike Delta Tango, or KD5 MDT, held by Donald Pettit. That's Papa Echo Tango Tango India Tango. Also kind of special, he just returned from the ISS over the weekend. Kilo Delta Tango Fox Bravo back to net control.
Thank you, Joe. We appreciate you coming in and giving us the celebrity of the week. Joe puts a lot of time and effort into that, and we certainly appreciate it. Do I have any users that have never done that before? I'd like to get new people that have never checked into our net up at the top of the net. So call signs twice. If you've never checked into this net before, we'd like to get you up at the top of the list. Call signs twice. Once again, this is Dick, WB2JPQ. WH6DUV. WH6DUV. KJ5, KEZ. KJ5, KEZ. You got Robert, South Dakota, WH6DUV. It looks like a Hawaiian call sign to me, if I remember my prefixes right. Might need a correction on this call sign. You're coming up Oklahoma, and I think you came in through Texas. Say 5KZZ or something like that. Call sign, please. Yes, sir. That's KJ5KEZ. Here in Texas. I'm still not sure that it's like, could you give us the suffix phonetically? We got the KJ5. We need the suffix, please. Kilo, Juliet 5. Kilo. Let me go up to Robert here. I'll get him. We got the kilo. We just need the last two. I'm sorry. No, we don't. Let me go up to Robert. Looks like you're new to the system. Completely new. WH6DUV. Welcome, and if you care to answer our question tonight, have you ever been gifted any amateur radio equipment? WH6DUV. Thank you, Bob here. And yes, South Dakota, but my original call sign is from the 808, which is Hawaii. And I was started and got my technician's license out there. Some antenna here that I still have to this day. So thank you very much. And back to the net. WH6DUV. Well, thank you, Robert. Rob, or to go by Robert, we can change you in our database. This is the time to do so if you have the shortened version.
Sure. Bob is fine. Thank you.
You're coming in through Cortland. Are you in the Cortland area? Or are you in South Dakota?
It gets complicated. I'm a traveling nurse, raised in New York, and I'm actually up there right now, Liverpool area currently.
But well, Bob, I didn't know maybe you were South Dakota and he's connected there, but hey, it's all in here. That's a KJ5 kilo station. Go ahead, sir, and give us the suffix if you would phonetically, and welcome to the East Coast Reflector. And our question, welcome.
Yes, sir, let me try. And it's Kilo Juliet 5, Kilo Echo Zulu. Here.
When we get done with some of these stations keying up there. Well, that makes all the difference in the world, George, when we put the right stuff. Baytown, Texas. Good evening to you, sir. And have you ever been gifted any amateur radio equipment?
No, I have not.
The NB-14 in North Carolina, Jacksonville, North Carolina. You're there. No, we'll have to take you. You can't fix it. Anybody else new to this net? If you've never checked into this net before, we'd like to hear from you. Call sign.
November 6, Quebec Delta Yankee, N6QDY. Dave is near Sacramento.
Hi, Dave. N6QDY. Unfortunately, you're coming up red on my log sheet here, indicating that you have been in here before. So I ask you to maybe wait till we get to the 6, which is probably three-quarters of the way down here tonight. So buckle up your seatbelt and ride along with us here for the next couple of hours. Who else do we have new to this net? If you've never checked into this net before, call sign choice.
Kilo Juliet, Kilo India Romeo.
Whiskey Bravo 4, Alpha Zulu, WB4AIZ, Chuck Echo Lake, Florida.
W5EO, Whiskey 5 Victor Echo Oscar. I don't think I've checked into the TechNet yet.
Doug, whenever they say that, they turn red. Sorry. We have Doug, so I have to ask you to come in with the 5th call district, if you would, please. Hey, we got you, Chuck. And let's go to Conroe, KJ5KIR. Good evening to you, sir. Here to ask or answer our questions. Yeah, sure. Good evening to y'all. Yeah, I got my ham radio license a long time ago when I was 14. This is a new call sign for me, having renewed it. And I thought about it for a little bit, but yeah, a long time ago when I first got into it, a guy gave me a J-pole, and it's just a couple pieces. Now that I think about it, it was a couple pieces of conduit with some pieces of metal in the right places. His J-poles are pretty simple, but he had made it himself. And the DIY part of the hobby is something I really like about it. Well, for sure, Joshua, it's always the fun of ham radio building and trying to work out of what you got laying around in your shack. Thank you for being there. Chuck, WB4AZ, AIZ, I'm sorry. Good evening. Oh, good evening. WB4AZ, West Coast, Florida, near St. Petersburg. We're hot and muggy, well, all hot, and we might get a 10% chance on Monday. And we don't, it's kind of a dry season right now anyways. So, and hurricane season's coming up. Anyways, not a whole lot going on here. We, talking about, antennas and stuff. My first station was cost me $11, 10 for vertical, 1 for 6146, and a toothpick for my meter with an old heat kit, DX40 from my tech school. Anyways, don't have a whole lot else, so I'm just out, we call it the net, local the net hopper. WB4AZ. All right, Chuck. Thanks for that information. A question that have you been gifted any radio equipment? Has anyone gifted you anything to use and to pass on? Well, yeah. Like I said, the DX40 was I got called down to the office after school one day in Pittsburgh. They showed me a big heat kit transmitter, DX40. It says, yeah, it would do. That's after I got my license. Thomas, and he said, you want it? I said, okay. So I ended up with a borrowed EC312N military receiver and that. So that was the first control day. Anyways, back to the control. WB4AZ. Well, thank you, Chuck. I think the DX40 was my second transmitter. I can't remember the first, but I remember getting the DX40. A guy that attempted to build it, and I don't remember, but it didn't work, and he gave it to me, and he said, if you get it working, you can have it, something like that. And I remember I did get it working, and it was finding the crystals. That's a long time ago. Who else do we have tonight? Stations that have never checked into this net before. Your call sign twice, please. Good evening to Madison, Alabama, KJ4IB. Your new call sign is not coming up on our database here. KJ4IB, good evening. 4IB, Kilo 4 India Bravo, out of Madison, Alabama. Well, that's Reflector better, Matthew. We didn't catch the Zulu. No, he was kind of weak. You get on your microphone, but you got a little noise on you, and the signal to noise ratio is not so good. But KZ4IB, Matthew, Madison, Alabama, good evening. And have you ever been gifted any radio? I'm afraid I'd pay full price for everything so far. I'm sorry, I did not understand that. Could you say that, please? Yeah, there's a lot of interference on this end. I said I'd pay full price for everything so far. I started in the A-shift stuff not too long ago, and just the past meter with. Well, thank you for being there. You go by Matthew, or we can shorten it up here and put a nickname or whatever in our database if you wish. Word. Right, well, who else do we have tonight? Stations that have never checked into this net. Your call sign, once again, this is Dick, WDCJCQ at 26 past the hour. Well, that was pretty uneventful tonight, Vicky. I never mentioned that Vicky, K8VKY, as always, is in here logging for us tonight. Scott and Kevin, apologies. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Kind of slim tickets on stations that are new to this net, but let's make this last call. Last call for stations that are new to this net. Vicky thinks maybe she got it, but you're way too noisy. The Portland station, give us your call sign twice and slowly, but I don't think we're going to be able to make it with you. You are just too noisy into that repeater. The Portland station only, your call sign twice. We got you, David. Somehow she pulled you out. W7DSF, Sherwood, Oregon. I guess we're going to have to make this a yes or a no, because you're very, very, very noisy. Have you ever any amateur radio equipment? One more time, David. W7DSF. Yes, and it'll go along with my IC718. We got a yes out of that. You're extremely noisy, but we got it, David. Thank you for being with us. Anyone else new to this net? I don't know if that was somebody in N6QI California or not, but it was just keying the system and running scripts, so I guess nobody's home. Let's take stations with amateur radio related questions. If you have a question tonight that you'd like to try to get an answer to, please give me your call signs twice. Stations with an amateur radio related question. Wow. I cannot believe with 450 plus connections, we don't have anyone out there that has a amateur radio related question.
N4, UJ, turning on to the net. I don't have an amateur radio question.
Well, it was a good double between Long Island and N4 UUJ. I'm going to go to N4 UUJ. Looks like Walter in Tennessee. Walter, good evening to you.
Good evening. Sorry before I connected with digital and caused there, but sorry about that. I wondered what happened with that. But anyway, my question is on Echolink, and I have it on my notes. I've had it, for a few years, and then it stopped working. Right now, my problem is it comes up on the node, dashboard, and when you go in transmit, it shows that it's transmitting on my phone when I'm doing that, and of course I'm connecting from external out to the same IP. But the radio does not go into transmit. It works with Echo, works with All-Star, connecting to nodes. The transmitter works fine, but when it comes to Echolink, it seems to be transmitting from my phone, which is the only way I can test it. And other people have tried it external to me, and it will not make the radio transmit. And there's something that I'm missing, and I don't know what it is.
Node, Walter, are you talking about, if you're coming in All-Star, are you talking about your All-Star node? Are you going into your All-Star node, Echolink? Is that what you're doing? And your Echolink node is that transmitting?
I have an All-Star node, and it's connected it's linked to our local repeater, and of course we want to have Echolink available for that. And like I say, it will work with East Coast Reflector. That'll keep your fine. With my Echolink, and it has worked in the past. I've reloaded everything. I've put in a fresh new image, and I've started from scratch, and it still doesn't work. But I'll load up Echolink that the router is everything is right with that. The ports are forwarded, and when somebody it gives the appearance on their phone when they are connected and they're transmitting, but the link radio will not go into transmit when it's on Echolink, but it does on those reflectors. That would transmit fine.
Yeah, tremendous bad hum on you. Sounds like your HT or whatever you're talking into your node on is either close to the node or close to a computer or a lamp or something. You might want to back away. Let me put out to the group. It almost sounds like it's a configuration problem in the node. I didn't hear David pop up. I don't know if he's with us tonight or not, but would like to take a stab at Walter's Echolink question.
Hey, 4FXC.
Oh, I think you are there.
WV2 JPQ, in that case, 4FXC. Good evening, everybody. Well, it's most likely either or port following issue is what I'm guessing. If you are registered with Echolink, you can try connecting to the Echolink parrot server with node 9999. So you probably have to enter like star 33009999 and see if you get a connection. If you connect to the parrot server, then you can send a transmission out and listen for it coming back. But that is the most likely that it's a network-related issue. Seems like on some folks' networks, more issues with Echolink are popping up lately. I'm not sure exactly what that's about, other than possibly getting blocked upstream. But that's the first thing to do is test with the Echolink test server and see if you can connect to it. And once you're connected to it, just see if you can send a transmission out and get it back, and then kind of take it from there. If that doesn't work, then that indicates most likely if you can't connect at all, then either configuration related or something networking. But if you can connect, then it sounds like it's probably networking related with port 5198 or 5199 UDP not being forwarded properly to your K4FXC.
I have tried the Echo, the parent server, and it does work with my phone. I can connect to other Echo links, other link nodes. I can connect to everybody's but mine. And then I had another guy, local ham, try to connect by Echo Link today, and it was the same. He got the same thing. He can connect to it. It shows that you're connected, but it will not transmit. Although, one thing I guess that he could receive. He can hear, it'll receive, but it won't transmit. So it's a very odd thing. It started about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We had some electrical problems, and the power was on off a lot, and it kind of disrupted my router. And since then, that's when that problem started. And I haven't been able to solve it since. But everything else works, but Echo Link. So you may be right on some kind of a network problem. Something is blocking that somewhere.
That's what I suspect the case is, network issue of some sort. Well, now, you say the parrot server works from your phone, but how about from your node? If you connect your node to the parrot server, does that work?
Let's see. I'm trying to think how I would do that, because this is on the Raspberry Pi where the node resides. So I'm thinking how I would connect out on that. I guess on any other node.
Right, that's exactly right. I don't know if you're using Superfon or what tool you're using to connect out on the All-Star, but if you use the same way, just like for HamVoIP, you do a star node number to connect to All-Star, for example, for a temporary, not a non-permanent. For Echolink, you do a star 33 and then the 6-digit node number to so like they go to the parent server, would be like star 009999, and that should connect you. And you should, at that point, you should be able to send the transmission out and get it back. If you're not getting that, then but it does connect. It does successfully connect to the parent server. Then it's most likely something network related. That's where I'd suspect maybe try cycling. Yeah, I imagine you tried power cycling the router and everything, but maybe since you have network power issues, something maybe reset the router to defaults and then reload the entries for the network address translation and see if that helps.
But that's the place to start, I would think, Cape Worth XC.
Thank you for that. That's a good test. I was trying to figure out some way to test this from the node aspect of it. I'm going into it if the node can connect out. So I'll try that. I thought about that a little bit, but I wasn't sure how to do that. So I'll try that. That'll be a good start there. And I was gifted some, if I could throw that in, a little dominated here.
Sure, go ahead, Walter.
Yeah, I was very lucky. My uncle was a ham, and when he passed away, his wife gave me and my brother his Drake TR3 that he had bought in 1960. Still works. It's here on the desk, and this thing so much, and I was just so lucky to be able to get that, and I wanted to throw that out. I just feel so blessed to have that, and it works, and it puts out a lot of power. So it's really nice. It sounds good. So Drake TR3, very old thing, almost as old as me.
SWL2KJC. I agree with everything David just said. I just wanted to throw out one minor thing. Using your cell phone on the same Wi-Fi internet router as your Raspberry. If you use more than one Echolink connection on a public IP, they block you. So just worth throwing that out, but I agree with everything David said too. Back to that SWL2KJC.
Yes, I was aware of that, and I was connecting my data using the outside, not going through my that way, and it still works here. Like I say, it connects, but no transmit. But I'll try what he suggested there, and that'll be a good start. So I thank you for all your information and help, and I was hoping it might be something showing up that other people has a problem, and be a place I could box I could check or something there. But anyway, not quite that simple there, but I appreciate all the help. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Dave, for your comment, and thank you, Walter, for the question. Good luck to you. And also, David, for your answer. Stations for the question. Call sign twice, please. This is Dick, B2JPQ.
Sierra, Kilo Alpha 5, Golf Sierra Sierra.
Good evening, Shane, K85GSS.
Got a question about All-Star nodes. I'm wondering if anybody is running a All-Star node in their vehicle, noticing that the node is basically the other frequencies transmitting or receiving, not transmitting, just receiving. Like I'll have my All-Star node set on the frequency with the BL tone, and I'll notice that the second band is stopping and receiving the same thing the All-Star node is. And I'm wondering if anybody's had any trouble with that or solution.
What do you mean by the second band, Shane? I don't understand. What do you mean the second band?
FTM 500, so it's got a display on it. My will be on one, and other meters that so it'll pause, it stops, and it'll basically
it picks up what the node is picking up as well. The group sounds like a little intermat to me. You know, both are here in the same. Have you a fix for that? Oh, Ross, and 0 MSS. Good evening. Answer to the question there. Ross.
Yeah, I thought I had it, but somebody must have used it. So I guess I'm trying to understand what his dilemma is. It sounds like he has an all-star node in his vehicle, and he's trying to talk through it with an FTM 500, but the second VFO on his radio is receiving traffic from other stuff and interfering with his receiving his all-star node. So possibly just put it on a frequency where there is no repeaters, you know, just stop it from scanning and stop that on a different frequency that nobody's using, maybe down in the 144s or something like that. Get it away from the other one, and maybe he'll quit getting the interference.
Yeah, I kind of want to leave it scanning the other repeaters in my area. I leave the all-star node on the top VFO, and I got the bottom one scanned. Say like you're transmitting and my all-star node's picking you up, it'll also stop. The second VFO will stop on any frequency on 2 meters and pause, and I can hear you on both. That's what I'm trying to stop. Okay, boy, that's XL with a comment. Now we got information that we needed. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, K4XC. I had a phone call come in just in the meantime. Yeah, it sounds like so you've got an all-star node. Don't know exactly what variety. Something like a node or clear node or something, I'm guessing. And when it starts transmitting on 2 meters, what you're saying is that your FTM 500, basically, where you're listening, you have one VFO approach the frequency of the all-star node, and the other VFO is just or the other side of the radio is in scan mode, and the scan mode side stops hearing the all-star node as well. Well, I'm guessing you're probably, first off, you're probably desensing the FTM 500 with the all-star node, where you've got, even though it's a little, you know, few hundred milliwatt transmitter, you're very, very close to that FTM 500, so you're probably desensing the radio. Plus, most of those little modules that they use are not real clean. I mean, they're adequately clean for, you know, use as a transmitter, but in close proximity to another receiver like that, that are likely going to receive. So that's a complex dilemma. If you're just trying to use the all-star node just literally in the vehicle or very, very short range, you might try replacing the antenna with a dummy load, and you know, the all-star node, just put a dummy load on there, and that might attenuate the transmitted signal enough that it doesn't, you know, whatever it's doing to the other receiver, it doesn't keep on doing it. I'm guessing you're desensing or NMODing it or something, but you know, reducing your transmit power on your all-star node will probably help that. So that'd be the first place to try, K4XC.
Okay, well, I'll give it a whirl and see if I can stop it. It's only when I'm receiving that this is happening. It's not when I'm transmitting. So I'm gonna do about drop the
power on it. Maybe that'll help. I tried separating them from one end of the vehicle to the other, and that didn't really help. And what's crazy is I can bring the All-Star node in here and set it right next to my base station, which is my same radio for 2 meters, and it doesn't do it in, which is kind of, I don't know, it's making me pull my hair out at this point, because I've literally got it sitting right next to it, and it doesn't do it in my shack.
Right, but how far away is your base station antenna from your node versus in the car? I mean, in the car it's a matter of feet. I imagine your base station antenna is a lot further away. It's just speculating, Cape West XC.
I didn't think about the distance that the antenna was. That's probably why. It's quite a distance away.
Well, yeah. So yeah, definitely.
That's what it is, Shane. And you said it only does it when it's receiving. You're saying when the All-Star node is receiving, that's when that's basically when it's transmitting. So there you go. And there was another somebody else in there. I think it was Joe, right? And 9 said the EP. I recognize your voice, Joe. Good evening.
The following repeaters 443.225 and 444.175 will be used for the Ironman event on Friday evening starting at 6 p.m. though Saturday evening at 7 p.m. Please use another repeater on the system.
Was rude. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, all I was going to say is, if you're at home, at your base station antenna, if both antennas are vertically polarized, vertical, then vertical separation is going to matter a lot, which would be true in your mobile. But what I'm curious about is why don't you just put the All-Star node or band, like UHF or something, because problem solved right there. Yeah, probably because I'm hard-headed and I just wanted to find out why it was doing it. But yeah, you're right. There's an easier solution, but I was just trying to figure out why it was doing it, and I think the antenna being the way it is on the vehicle is probably why.
Yeah, K4SXC. Yeah, if you can just get a small dummy load, try like a little water 2 dummy load that you just screw right on there where the antenna goes on the node radio. And my guess is in the vehicle that'll have a good chance of making it all better. K4SXC.
All right, I'll give it a whirl. I appreciate it, everybody. KA5GSS, I'll be clear.
Thank you, Shane. Thanks, Joe and David. And I guess Russ was in there too. So there you go. Next up, NI7HL. NI7HL, Junction City, Oregon. Good evening.
Okay, I think you're talking to me, AI7HL Alpha India 7 Hotel Lima. I just had a kind of an answer for that question, and my answer would be an attenuator on the antenna. I have a couple of those that I bought on eBay for like $5. You get an attenuator, or a lot of those All-Star nodes you can dial down the output power. But the attenuator might be easier. Anyhow, that was all.
Right, run the dummy load on it. Don't need, most of the All-Star nodes you don't need it. For around the house and that, you do not need an antenna on there. Right, thank you, sir. New stations, not wishing to get in here. Stations with a question. I think I'm doing the morning brew here. I get all my nets confused. tomorrow morning at 7, Dick. Get your head screwed on. This is the TechNet, stations with an amateur radio-related question.
PNR, Whiskey 2, Papa, November, Romeo. My question's really simple. I just received a FEM 500 ASU, and so when I'm scanning memory, the channels that I put in there, how do I stop it when it stops on a channel and I want to stay on that channel? How do I stop it? What do I hit? I can't find this in the manual. W2PNR. W2PW, pardon?
He's got a comment. Most of the time you just hit your push button, but who was that? Was that press? Go ahead.
Yeah, you beat me to it, Dick. Sorry. Just wanted to pop in to say hello to local. Okay, 7-3, I'll be on the side. W2PW. PNR, can you repeat that? Just tap the push to talk button. It'll stop the scanning. Tap your microphone, push the talk button. PNR, thank you so much.
Stephen got his answer. An answer that Fred's got to say hello to a local. There you go. Good evening to both of you. Who else do I have? Stay with the call signs twice. Well, I don't hear going once, going twice. Stations with an amateur radio-related question. Last call. I got Scott in the bullpen warming up. If we don't have it... Before I send it up to Scott, let me send it up to Kevin. See if Kevin has anything in our swap shop that he'd like to share with us tonight. Good evening, Kevin.
Thank you, Dick, and good evening to you and everyone on net. This is the E3BZ with tonight's swap shop portion of the TechNet. I have a few listings here. Starting us off is Chris, N1KZQ in Nashua, New Hampshire. Chris is looking for an ICOM ID 5100. That's a mobile D-Star radio. Contact Chris by email at chrisg1071@gmail.com. Next listing is from Joe, W07X in Portland, Oregon. Joe has a Yaesu FTDX 3000D for sale. HF rig, does 10 meters to a 160 meters plus 6 meters. Asking $1,150. And Joe's contact email is joe@wo7x.com. Next is from Steve, W3ATN. Has a Heil HTH headset for sale. That's a single-sided for ICOM HTs. Usually goes for $30 to $40 new. Asking $20. And that includes shipping within North America. Steve's email is w3atn@arrl.net. And QRZ. Let me drop for a sec.
Next listing is from Danny in K5CG in Plano, Texas. Selling a Yaesu FT2DR handheld radio. It is in mint condition. It's C4FM and analog dual band radio. Does APRS, GPS recording, logging capabilities. This includes many accessories. Asking $400 plus shipping inside the continental U.S. And Danny's email is k5cg@hamoperator.com. And next up is Gil, K4GDS in Orlando, Florida. Has a Yaesu FT70D along with an MMDBM hotspot. It's the ultimate Yaesu FT70D bundle. Includes the Yaesu FT70D, dual band radio, that is also C4FM radio, full duplex MDBM Pi-Star hotspot, the Yaesu SSM-17H speaker mic, rapid charger, USB charging cable, and more. Asking $3. You can contact Gil by email at k4gds@icloud.com. That is all I have for this evening. If you have anything for sale, trade, or want, just go to eastcoastreflector.com, contact ECR, and swap commission. All right, back to net control.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Nice to see that we've got some items tonight to list. Before I send it over to Scott, I want to mention our new net that we started back, I think, about a month ago. On Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock, we're calling it the Open Mic Net, the Open Mic Night, Open Mic Net, where we have 2, 3, 4, I guess we're not going to go with 4, but 2 or 3 net controllers switch out in an hour time. Some are coming back for multiple sessions, some are as far as net controllers is concerned, but the point being, if you'd like to try out as a net controller, there's a form that we can tell you where to find. I forgot just what the address of it is, but if you'd like to try out, let us know. And we're always looking for people to come and be net controllers. So that's on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. Everybody, in all of the surveys that we've taken of our users, the one thing that they wanted was another evening net. So we have delivered, like I say, and come support it. It's Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. That's it for me. Thank you for logging tonight, KBKY. Thanks, everybody, for spending an hour with me. I will see you tomorrow on the Open on the Brew. My friend Scott, double get 2BLT. Good evening, everyone. This is Dick, double get B2JPQ.
Well, thank you, Dick. My node just timed out. Had to wait for a minute. This is W2BLT Scott in Buffalo, New York, and I'll be taking the first half of the check-ins tonight. We're going to start with the 9s, end up with the 8s, and then the late mist. I'll take call districts of 9 through 3. Then we'll turn it over to KE7K, Kevin out in Portland, Oregon. So, with that, anyone 9 in your call sign, please come now.
This is 9Y4DX. W6, Mike, Hotel Sierra.
Alrighty, we'll hold it up there. We're taking the 9s right now, not the 6s. 6s will be coming a bit later. We got 9Y4DX. Bertrand, any other 9s out there? You have 9 in your call sign. Please come now. Oh, nothing heard. Let's start out right with Bertrand, 9Y4DX down in Trinidad and Tobago. The evening is, have you ever been gifted any ham radio equipment?
Well, pleasant evening to you, Net Control, W2PLC. Scott, this is 9Y4DX. My name is Bertrand, Trinidad and Tobago, Texas. Let me extend a pleasant evening to all on the East Coast Reflector Net this evening. Reflector. Hope everyone is doing well and warm. Well, Trinidad and Tobago today we had very good weather. And this afternoon, however, we had a couple of showers which tried to cool us down, but we are still 78 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a bit warm, but I hope that with the rain we will go a little further down. Well, with respect to the question, Scott, I did not receive any gift. I did report when there was need for disaster preparedness personnel, and after got my radio, I bought my own radio. So that's it from me. That's the new Net Control in W2BL. It's a 9Y4. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Bertrand. Sounds like you got a good evening down there, and sounds like the dog's happy in the background. Have yourself a great week, and thank you for joining us, my friend. Let's go to zeros. Anybody with a 0 call sign, please come now.
Kilo 0 Charlie Victor K 0 CV, Carl in Minnesota.
And 0 MSS, November 0, Mike Sierra Sierra.
0, Tango Oscar.
Alrighty, recognizing K0 CD, Carl, and 0 MSS, Ross. And that last one there said something about, I don't know, maybe a YO in your call sign?
Yeah, that's Kilo Yankee 0 Tango Oscar KY0TO.
0 SYV.
0 Sierra Victor Hotel W0SH.
Already recognizing W0SVH Sean, KF0 SYV, Galen, KY0TO, Christopher, and I got the other two. Anyone else with a 0 before we run them, please come now.
Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Hotel Whiskey, again that is Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Hotel Whiskey Mobile in Orlando, Florida. This is Tennyson.
Well, Tennyson, I didn't hear the 0 in the call sign, so you're going to have to wait for the 4s, which will be coming up in a little while. Let's go up to the top of this list. K0, CV, Carl, in Maple Grove, Minnesota. Good evening, Carl, and have you ever been ham radio equipment? Carl, K0CV, are you still with me?
Testing 123 K0CV. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good evening. Well, let's try that again, Carl. Just start talking here. K0, good evening. We'll come back to Carl in a few minutes here. 0 MSS, Ross up in Wapaton, North Dakota. Good evening, Ross.
Yeah, good evening. Nice to be not the Lone Ranger up here. Oh, man. Good to hear all the zero. The question, yes, I have been donated some stuff to. In fact, one of the last ham meetings, 2 meetings ago, somebody said, I got some wire out in the back. I said, well, it wasn't just one. A couple 100 foot of RG8X. So I got that, and there was some rotor wire and some TV coax. And anyway, so last weekend I scrap wire that I had laying around from replacing the old cloth-covered, paper-covered wiring in the house. So I made a 10-meter dipole and used RG8X and gifted it to one of the new hams that just got an HF rig so they can get on the air. So that's always fun to do. Oh, and I was gifted also an old transmitter receiver, crystal controlled. Let's see, I don't remember the model number of the Heathkit receiver, but it was probably the DX era, the green one there with the 5 bands on it, and I think it was a Helicopters or Hammerland CW transmitter that went with it. And so yeah, I've been gifted a couple things. Back to net, and 0MSS.
Thank you, Ross. Appreciate you joining us tonight. Have a good one. KY0, Christopher, Iceland, New York. Good evening.
Good evening. I have been gifted an HT in the past by a friend of mine who was cleaning out his closet and had an extra Baofeng that he gave to me, so that's it on my end. Back to that.
All right, thank you, Christopher. Appreciate us, and you have a great evening. Next up, KF0SYB, Galen in Woodbine. Good evening.
Evening, you and everyone on the net. No, in answer to your question, I've not been gifted any ham equipment for a time of it. I haven't had it very long. I just recently got my tech license, so, but, you know, it might come. Anyway, 7-3s. Have a good evening.
Thanks for joining us, Galen. Enjoy the rest of the evening. W0SVH, Sean in Anderson, Texas. Good evening, and have you ever been gifted equipment?
I have. My Omer gave me some hard line and gave me a few other, probably a little portable antennas and a couple of things. Ham radio world. So yeah, I've been gifted a few things and I've paid it forward a couple of times myself. And I hope everybody else does too. And thank you for holding it. We'll come back at you down the log. This is W0SBH, back to you, net control.
All right, thank you, Sean. Appreciate you joining us this evening. Let's go back up and see if K0CV, Carl, up in Maple Grove, Minnesota, is still there. Are you still, Carl?
K0CV, any copy on me now?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. I think somebody's HD needs charging there. We're going to mark him as in and out, and I appreciate him stopping by, but can't talk to him. Let's go to the one. This is W2BLT, by the way. If you have a 1 in your call sign, please come with your call sign twice.
KC1, 2PL, KC1, 2PL.
Well, I got my lone one tonight, and good evening, John, up in South St. Paul, Minnesota. Have you ever been gifted any ham radio equipment? Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Smooth. KC1, I was in HR10 and DX60, a soldering gun, and a vacuum tube voltmeter, and told if I wanted to use them, I had to put them together. So I went through quite a learning experience, and I've been gifted some other things. I've got a Biplex blue razor that I got from my Elmer, and a D1 that I got from my Elmer, and yeah, so that's it. Good to see you, or good to hear you anyway, and I'll go back to you. KC1 2PL, Dr. Smooth.
John, you silver-tongued devil. Have yourself a great night. Always good to talk to you. Alrighty, with that, we're going to go to the twos. Via the text line, we have KD2 P. Bob, WA2 UUS Joel, W2 RBC Randy, W2EM Chuck, and VK2 Robert. Yeah, with a 2 in your call sign. Please come now with your call sign twice.
VNU, KD2, VNU. N2BH, N2BH. W2PNR, Whiskey 2, Papa, November, Romeo. 2ZVN, and 2ZVN. W2KJV, W2KJV.
Alrighty, let's hold it up there for a minute. Let me recognize VNU, Derby Dan, N2BH, Bill, N2 PNR, Stephen, N2 AVN, N2 ZVN, W2 KJV, and we had a station coming in through the Long Island hub there on Long Island. It sounded like it was like a 2MO or something with an RX in it. If you could come back with your call sign twice, I'd appreciate it. No, I'm sorry, you're just not making it into that repeater good enough to catch that call sign. When I get down to the bottom of the twos, I'll call for you again. I know what you look like here on the monitor, and maybe you'll be a little closer. Let's go to the top of this list. KD2, JP, Bob in Gallatin, Tennessee. Good evening, Bob, and have you ever been gifted any ham radio equipment?
Hey, Scott, good evening. Good evening to everybody else on the net as well. I have not got any equipment gifted. I did gift out a mobile radio that I had new, actually, that a much older man than me, which is way past 70, needed. And the hardest thing to do with getting it to him was I told him I didn't want a cent for it. So that was the hardest thing. He was a stubborn fellow. But let me drop this for a second, please. But actually, it's kind of funny you brought this question up. And on what's real fun is our trust. And the fact of the radio equipment did come up, and I do intend to give time does come. And hopefully a new ham would be putting a lot of good hours on the gear when I'm no longer in need of it. So we'll leave it at that. But everybody stay safe. Have a great week. And back to next control.
All right, thank you, Bob. Appreciate you joining us. And have a great evening. WA2 UUS, Joel, right here in Buffalo, New York. Good evening.
Everyone else on the net, that's the question tonight. I've not been gifted, but I have given away some Raspberry Pis and Bofangs that I had, and nothing else. And I wish everyone to be well and be safe. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you for joining us, Joel, and enjoy the rest of the evening. One of our team members here at the East Coast Reflector, Randy, W2, RBC in West Seneca. Good evening.
Good evening, Scott, Vicky, and everyone on the TechNet. No, was fortunate enough to receive any ham radio equipment as a gift.
Randy, I got a beautiful little Baofeng all in the box. Have a great evening. Appreciate you joining us and all you do for us. Next up, W2EM, Chuck in Lancaster, New York, by way of Florida. Good evening.
Scott and the rest of the group here. As far as radio equipment, antennas, I've gotten antennas from a couple different sources that were given to me. One was, a couple were silent keys, and another just wanted to get rid of them. And so I got them. And I passed a few on too, so it's all up good. Back to that, W2EM.
Thanks for joining us, Chuck. And I know one that you were gifted, that you re-gifted. And I was the benefactor. Have a great evening, Chuck, and if I don't talk to you before, you have a safe travel coming home. This is W2BLT. Next up, let's go across the river through the woods to VK2DY. Robert in Kellyville Ridge, New South Wales, Australia. Good evening, Robert.
Good evening to you. Good morning from me. This is Robert. This is Delta Yankee in Northwest Virginia, where it is currently sunny and about 23 degrees Celsius, about 70. You get a degree or two. They're calling for rain today. Yesterday we got bills. We'll get some more rain today in the next couple of days here. We're in a definitely autumny weather situation here. Probably this coming weekend I'll go off and try to see some colors, autumn colors. There's a couple of places where there's some imported trees that I can see some autumn colors, so we'll probably head out and do that this weekend. Anyway, other than that, various pieces of things. My elder gifted me a bunch of stuff when I first became a ham 34 years ago now. And various people, my father gave me things, various significant others have given me things, and I've given things to other people as well, and I've eldered people and I've given them things. So nothing really stands out or anything major in any of the gifts, but it was just nice, you know. Hey, I'm not using this here, you can take it. So it was just sort of, yeah, that's it. So yes, the answer is yes, to be short. VK-UI.
Hey, thanks for joining us, Robert. Yeah, I've learned over the last few years that the longer you're a ham, or let's put it this way, stuff you have. And after you get so much stuff, other parties tell you got to get rid of some of this stuff. You got to get rid of some of it, which new hams are the benefactor of. Thanks for joining us and have a good week. KD2VNU, Derby Dan in Derby, New York. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening, Scott or Doc. Good evening, Scott. What you call it? I think you got a new title. 82VNU. I was gifted a Reddity QT80. Showed up on my doorstep here from a generous donor. And I've been playing with that on and off. Unfortunately, the 10-meter band's been down for weeks now, so I haven't heard a whole lot on it. With that, I'll return it back to the net. 82VNU.
Alrighty, thank you, Dan. And yes, ZS2EC, I did hear you. We'll put you at the bottom of the list here, and we'll get to you shortly. N2BH, one of our team members and one of your hosts on the Morning Brew, Bill in Palmyra. Good evening, Bill.
Good evening, Scott, Vicky, everybody else. And yes, I have been gifted a nice Kenwood TH79 HT from one of the guys I have breakfast with, an old-time ham who's kind of become inactive, and I got two things in boxes. I'll give it to you. N2PH.
Oh, you're the best, Bill. That's all I got to say about that. Have yourself a good evening, and we'll talk to you soon. This is W2BLT, W2PNI. In East Morris, New York. Good morning, or good evening.
PNR, thank you for the good evening. Yes, I was gifted stuff from my dad. A Hallicrafted SX100, which we used to listen back in the 70s to Radio Moscow on. Some ICO stuff, Heathkit DTVM, DX40 grid dip meter. Now there's an old one. And a bunch of stuff. So, yes. W2PNR.
Thanks for joining us, Stephen, and have yourself a great evening. Next up, I believe is N2AVN. Norman in Rhinebeck, New York. Good evening. How about N2ZVN, Allen and Kendall, New York.
Good evening, Scott. Everyone on the net tonight. Yeah, I've been gifted a few things. My first HF rig was gifted to me. It was a old broken E104. I loved that thing. That was, I don't know, I liked it. And I eventually gifted it back. And my dad gave me his Kenwood TS50 with auto tuner and power supply there just shortly before he passed. So, and that I'll cherish forever. And two's at the end, back to the net.
Alrighty, thank you, Alan. Appreciate you joining us, and have a good evening. Next up, one of our team members, W2KJP, Tony in Homosassa, Florida. Good evening.
Good evening, Scott. Everyone on the tech net tonight, Tony, 2KJV. Yes, I've been lucky enough to be gifted a few things. Got an old IC2AT and a Dentron AR monitor with an SWR bridge attached to WA4 SWL. George, he's when he was 94 years old a couple years ago. I tried to get him back into the hobby, but he just he didn't want to. So I was able to a few things from him, and also a real nice MSJ heater. Also, Joe came on the corner to FT470 and HT, and he gives me a whole bunch of connectors and all kinds of. Another friend of mine gave me a Tektronix scope. So I got so much stuff. Anyway, have a great night. W2KJV.
All right, Tony, and it sounds like it's a good thing Mary's a ham. Have yourself a great evening. Let me go back and see if that fella that was on Long Island coming through the hub there, who wasn't making a repeater, let's see if he is making a repeater. You want to try it again? Well, I guess he's not hearing me. Next up, via the text line, W2SAL, Sal in Cheektowaga, New York. Good evening, Sal.
W2KJV, before he moves out, he gave me a bunch of vendettas. And believe it or not, I'm still working some of those up and running. 2-meter Yagi and 440 Yagi and some other stuff. But I put down for that. For that, I'll take it back to next. No, everyone have a great evening. W2SAL, back to you, Scott.
Thanks for joining us tonight, Sal. And always a pleasure talking to you. Have a great one. Last on this list, ZS2EC, Tunis over in Port Elizabeth on the Eastern Cape, Africa. Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Local time yesterday, 10 degrees Celsius. Yes, like this rate, Kenwood caution is buffing to dual band antennas for VHF, also VHF antenna. I got it very good. So I'm quite happy about that. Thank you.
Alrighty, Tom. Enjoy the rest of the day there. You're up early this morning, and appreciate you joining us. Alrighty, this is WLT. Let's move on to the threes. If you have a 3 in your call sign, please come now. WB3GTM. WB3GTM. Charlie 3, Foxtrot Golf Delta. Kilo Charlie 3, Foxtrot Golf. 3IQU, Victor Echo 3, India, Quebec Uniform. All right, we'll hold it up there for a moment, recognizing Raj up in Brampton, Ontario, Canada. We had KC3FGD, Ray, and WB3GTM, Mike. Anyone else with a 3 in your call sign? Last call for the 3s, please come now. With nothing heard, let's go to the top of this list. WB3 GTM, Mike in Westford, Vermont. Good evening, Mike, and the question of the evening, have you ever been gifted any ham radio equipment? regards to the question, I can't think of any shows just that I was loaned a few things in my early days of hamming, and I never returned everything that I was loaned. But I could say I've certainly loaned out a few things, in some cases that they never returned. And there's other things I've loaned permanently also to other people that was, I guess you could say, gifted, like antenna analyzers, antenna tuners, mobile radios, antennas, and so on and so on. I can't think of anything I've received myself, though. Hey, thanks for running the net. Thanks for checking me in. 7-3 and back to net control. This is WB3GTM. Alrighty, thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. You have yourself a great evening. Next up, KC3FGD, Rain, Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania. Good evening, Scott. I've had a couple of 2-meter radios given to me, but the most interesting one was back in, 12 years ago when I got my license. One of the my friends here in the Masonic Village had a Kenwood DS 680S that he purchased new back in '85, and unfortunately, his wife wouldn't let him use it. He said he only had a couple hours on it, and basically a brand new radio, so he gave it to me. So I ended up with a brand new 1985 Kenwood, and what a radio that is. Having a great time. Hey, back to net control. Alrighty, Ray. Like they say, some days are diamonds, baby. Have a good day, Ray, and we'll talk to you again soon. Let's go up north to VE3IQU. Raj up in Brampton, Ontario, Canada. Good evening, Raj. Very good evening to you there, Scott. Everybody around the net tonight. A little bit under the weather. You maybe hear it in my voice, but I've had a cold for about a week. Anyhow, things are what... Certainly had nice weather though this last little bit. And glad to hear everybody out there on the net tonight, including Dick there. I hope he's well. And so on and so forth. But the question, well, I've had one thing gifted to me, and that was I think it was a M44 or something microphone way back when I first became a fan in 1977. And a friend of mine, he's now out in BC, but he used to live here and work for College Radio, and then Rockwell International let me go. And he gave me a Shure, I think it was a Shure M44 or something like that, mic that worked with my FT101E at the time. And to work very well. So that was good. And as for the last, my predecessor here on the net, I think I'd have with my wife if she was that tight in allowing me any kind of time on my radio. You know, you gotta have a little bit of fun in life, guys. You know, that's a big cue there, and hope things are well by everyone on the net tonight from Brampton, Ontario. Green Free Ice for you.
Oh, thank you, Reg. I'm sure Ray was listening. Have a good evening, and always a pleasure talking with you. That's going to do it for me, folks. I'm going to turn you over now to the capable hands of Kevin, KE7K, and I'd like to thank Vicky for logging tonight. Talk to everybody on the Morning Brew one of these mornings. This is W2BLT. Take it away, Kevin.
All right, thank you very much, Scott. Capable might be a loose use of that word, but I'll do the best I can. I'm going to start with the fours on my shift here. We've got KK4 SED, AC4BR, KQ4LY, and KY4NB via the text line. Anybody else with 4 in their call sign, please come now.
This is Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Hotel Whiskey. Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Hotel Whiskey. This is Tennyson in Orlando, Florida. Kilo 4 Oscar Romeo Kilo KQ4 ORK Mobile in and out. In and out. 4 DON KT4 Victor Oscar November in and out.
Air Control, this is Kilo Echo 4 Zulu Yankee Quebec. Kilo Echo 4 Zulu Yankee Quebec.
I recognize KR4 AHV, November 4 Oregon State University, KQ4 ORK, Barry got you as in and out, thanks for checking in. KG4 VON, Cliff got you as in and out as well, thanks for checking in. Joe, KE4 ZYQ, and KQ4DX split in on the text line. Anybody else with a 4 in their call sign, please come now.
Correct you. My apologies. It's Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Hotel Whiskey, not Vicky. KR4AH. Thank you.
November 4 Juliet Quebec Romeo. November 4 Juliet Quebec Romeo. They are in Durham, in and out. Victor 44 Kilo Mike in and out. Victor 44 Kilo Mike in and out.
All right, Tennyson. Yeah, I may have read it wrong, but it was correct in the log. KR4AW, got you in the log. N4JQR, JR, got you as in and out. And V44 Kilo Mike Q, you as in and out. So let's run this list. Top of the list is left in Claremont, Florida. KK4 SED, Good evening, Les. Have you ever been gifted any ham radio equipment?
Good evening, Kevin, everybody on that. Yeah, I have been gifted a couple of radios. One I've been sitting here, I usually on top of my stand here, and gifted another one that I put in the golf cart. So, yeah, I've been blessed. So, all right, good net tonight. KK4 FED, back to net.
All right, thank you, Les. Thanks for checking in. AC4BR, Brian in Monticello, Kentucky. You're next up. The floor is yours. Alpha Charlie 4, Bravo Romeo, Brian. Are you still with us?
Good evening. Yeah, sorry, for some reason I can't get the Zoom room to mute on my phone, which is running through my automobile, so I was trying not to double that. Apologies. Anyway, yeah, believe everything's updated correctly. I used to be KK4GPW, but I kind of gifted myself a vanity call sign as a reward for passing my extra, so... Anyway, I don't have any equipment that was gifted to me other than like parts pieces, you know, wires and that kind of stuff. They're always useful, but donated a couple of small things. I think, well, actually they ended up not even using the one radio I did gift, so, but we sold it and used it for other stuff, so, in a way, I guess. But anyway, I'll get out of the way and let you get on down the list, but thank you all again, and everybody have a good evening. AC4BR.
All right, very good. Zoom room, sorry about the snafu there. Glad to have you checking in. KQ4GLY, Chris in Parrish, Florida. Good evening. Have you ever been gifted any ham radio equipment?
Good evening, Kevin, everyone in that. I have not been gifted any ham radio equipment. KQ4GLY, back to you.
All right, thanks for checking in, Chris. Scott, KY4NB, good evening.
Well, good evening, Kevin. Everybody on the TechNet, and hi to Brother Randall if he's listening there. He's trying to get his new iPad working, so he may or may not be able to check in when the 5 come up, Brother Randall from Spring, Texas. But anyway, yes, in answer to the question, a few years ago, I will not remember the full call sign, but the suffix is Lima Charlie Bravo from Florida. So anyway, George, and Pastor George gave me a Kenwood TS2000, and all I do was pay shipping, so it's been a wonderful radio for me as I've got started on HF, and enjoyed that tremendously. So yes, in answer to that question, and I've got here I need to gift other people, the XYL would just love that, I know. Cut down on some of the noise, Thanks for that, and I'll let you get on down the log. 7-3 from Land of Elvis and Barbecues, and hopefully they'll get in the morning with the group. KY4NB, back to net.
All right, thank you for and Scott. Tennyson, Winter Park, Florida, KR4 AHW, Vicky. Go ahead, Tennyson.
Well, hello there. This is KR4AHW Tennyson in Orlando, Florida. First off, I just want to apologize for calling while you guys were calling for the ones. I had literally just turned my car on and just heard them calling for check-ins, so I figured I would go for it. Yeah, it's my fault. Yeah, I received a pair of free Baofeng UV5RM pluses through the Amazon program, so I got 2 of those for free given to me from Amazon, I guess. And I decided to give one of them away. I hosted a raffle giveaway in my local GMRS repeater Discord server, and one lucky person won one of those HTs during one of our nets. So anyways, yeah, that's and I'm sticking to it. KR4AHW, back to you, net control. Hope everyone has a great night.
All right, very good, Tennyson. Thank you for checking in. And if you did check in early, out of call sign order, appreciate your patience and stick around for the 4th. So thanks for checking in, Tennyson. Next up is Jerry, Lauderdale, Florida, November 4. Oregon State University, go Beavers.
Correction there, this is N4 OSU, that's Ohio State. You gotta wake up some of those Buckeyes, we don't hear nothing. So we gotta harass them a little bit once in a while, see when we can turn up. I just got a power supply given to me, the one I'm using on this thing now. So everybody have a good evening and say, N4 OSU, we're down.
All right, very good, Jerry. No, it's not college football season right now. It's college baseball season, and us here at Oregon have one of the best college baseball teams in the country. So in for Oregon State University for checking in. We'll get you during football season. Barry and Cliff checked in and out. Joe is next up in Clinton Township, Michigan. KE4ZYQ. Good evening, Joe.
And all on the net, Vic, KE4ZYQ. First of all, the 4 is it's from 4 land because I lived briefly in Tennessee, even though I moved back to my home state, Michigan, so I'm living with a 4. Everybody tries to change it to an 8 when they call, take my call into a net or something. But yeah, I had an very unusual thing to answer that question about gifted something. Back during COVID, I was ordered a disc to program a Yaesu 5250 mobile at the C4FM 2-band, 2-meter, 70-centimeter mobile. I bought one of those. I ordered from Amazon the book and the disc, programmed that on a computer. And they sent me during COVID an actual brand new radio. And I called them up. I said, I didn't order a radio. I ordered the disc and the book. And they said, well, we can't take it back because of COVID. Just keep it. So I consider that a gift. One of the things that benefited me during COVID. So didn't get it. It's bad for those that did. Well, good job to Kevin and Vicki and all that you do from KE4ZYQ.
Okay, very good, Joe. Hope you're enjoying your new radio. I'm actually wearing a shirt from spring training from 2020. And I went down just the week before everything shut down for COVID. So glad you got something out of it, too. Justin, KQ4DX. Good evening.
Good evening, net control. Yeah, I've been gifted before. I got a Nano VNA and a antenna tuner. when I upgraded my license. Thanks for having me. This is my first time on my new Hams over IP line here. I hope it's through. But living the rest of the net. KQ4DX back to net.
Yeah, your phone sounds just fine, Justin. Have a good evening. Thank you for checking in. JR and Hugh, we're both in and out. Last on the list this evening is Joe. You provided me a lot of help yesterday. Still a couple things to work out, but I appreciate your response to emails. You're quite an asset on the Reflector here. Thank you very much. KO4FR. This is KE7K.
Good morning, good evening, Kevin and Annette. No problem. HTs set to the wrong PL. Some of these HTs that I programmed only does the frequency, so I don't really did the PL to them, but it looks like I'm getting through. To that, and no problem with that. Hopefully within the next few days we can get into the Zoom room and talk about it. Tomorrow I have open mic night, so probably not that. Probably not, but maybe Thursday or Friday evening. To answer the question, no, I did not get anything gifted to me. This is KO4FR. Back to you.
All right, thanks for checking in, Joe, and I would consider you a gift to the Reflector. You're always a help to everybody, so thank you very much. All right, we'll move on to the 5th call district. If your call sign has the number 5 in it, that's the number just after 4 and just before 6. Go ahead and check in now. Call signs only, please.
Delta 5, Uniform November Juliet, KD5 UNJ. JNJ, Kilo Juliet 5 Juliet November.
Recognize 3 stations, KI5 PMI, Bill, via the text line, and Derek Justin. I can already see that I'm going to get my tongue tied on these two, but I'm going to give it my best. KI5 UNJ and KJ5 JJ. Anybody else with a 5 in their call sign, please come now. Nothing. Kilo Echo 7 Kilo 7. Station left. Text. Net number 618. Keep on clicking those numbers off. Bill in Hobbs, New Mexico. KI5 PMI. Good evening, Bill.
Good evening, Kevin, everybody on the net. Yes, I was gifted actually a homemade antenna tuner. Made it, did a really good job. It was found through a person to me at like an estate sale or something, but it's really a well-made piece of equipment, and hopefully I get to use it pretty soon. I hope everybody has a great night. KI5 PMI. Back to net.
Yeah, very good, Bill. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, that sounds like a cool thing to be handed down. Hope you're enjoying it. Darren, first up in the tongue twisters this evening, KD5UNJ. Good evening. Have you ever been gifted any ham radio equipment?
Kevin, this last year, whenever the networks went down, I got back into ham radio, and a little bit later, I inherited my grandfather's TM230, which I'm talking on to you right now, and I also inherited my uncle's TM201B with a PL tone soldered onto it, a box for it. And then my dad, he got me a Pyramid PS14KX power, which I'm also using right now to be on this rig. And I've done a little bit of gift giving myself. I gifted my dad a Retevis radio, and I've also got a Retevis on the way. I got it right before the tariffs came in, and I'm going to get that to one of my buddies that's getting back into ham radio also. And yeah, best of the evening to you, Kevin, the net, and hope everyone has a good evening. This is KD5UNJ.
Yeah, thanks for checking in, Darren. Last on the tongue twister list is KJ5, JNJ. Good evening, Justin, Conroe, Texas. Have you gifted any ham radio equipment?
JMJ, thank you very much for doing the net, and yes, I have to say I have, and I've had a lot of very generous friends in radio, and I really appreciate all of it, but yeah, this is a big one because so I was wanting to get my ham license, and I was just going to give I wasn't going to go any further because I really didn't see myself being able to afford any HF equipment anytime soon with the little radio budget I have. And a good friend of mine, motivated me to get that license, that general upgrade, by telling me that if I did, he would give me an ICOM 7300. So, needless to say, I got my upgrade, I got my 7300, and I'm playing on HF now.
Yeah, very good, Justin. You make the best of a pretty solid offer from a friend there. Thanks for checking in. Let's see. That's the end of the 5. I'll mark that off on my list. And after I recognize Charles and Harris, KC6 FM, and WJ6I, Harris in DeBerry, Florida. Open call. Anybody that has a 6 in their call sign, please come now.
Sierra 6 Zulu Yankee Mike. 06 Zulu Yankee Mike, South Africa.
Kilo November India, Whiskey 6, Kilo November India, mobile. I recognize Zulu S6, Zulu Yankee Mike. and Caleb, 6KNY in Washougal, Washington. Caleb, I could probably get you on Simplex. I've seen you're coming into Michael's repeater there, W7RAT here in Portland, Oregon. Anybody else with a 6 in their call sign, please come now.
6 OHI, November 6 Oscar, Hotel India.
Alpha Delta Sierra, K6ADS. All right, very good. We added Bruce and Andrew on November 6th. HI and K6 ADS. Top of the list is Charles, KC6 UFM. Good evening, Charles.
Good evening, Kevin. This is Charles, KC6 UFM. Many thanks to Vicki for making sure none of the cats try and break the herd here tonight, and to you and Scott and Dick for keeping the cats cut back where they should be. But as far as the question is concerned, yes, I have. Many years ago, I was gifted a I can't remember what the model number was now, but it was a Kinwood 2-meter HT. Probably know the one that's about the size and weight of a paving brick, but it did work, and I used the heck out of that thing for a long time. But most of my gifts come from neighbors. They know that I'm a ham operator. They know that I like fooling around with antennas and things like that. So anytime they have a piece of aluminum tubing or bamboo rods or fiberglass rods or runs of wire or anything like that, they just kind of come over and toss it on my pile, and eventually I get around to using most of them. And that's a big help. I don't have to go out and buy stuff to build an antenna with, even if it's something that I'm just experimenting and going to tear back down anyway. But anyhow, everyone stay out of trouble. 7-3. This is KC6 USM. Back to net control.
And Charles, thanks for everything you do for the Reflector and the magazine. Harris in DeBerry, Florida. Whiskey Juliet 6, India. That's a unique call sign. Good evening, Harris.
Not exactly. I have a friend who has a business where they sell the contents of people's houses after the people have passed on, and I help out whenever they have somebody with technical equipment, and they gave me a bunch of various antennas and an old ICOM 2-meter radio. I honestly have never used. I don't even know if it ever even works, but it was nice of them to do that. I have given radios to at least 4 people that I can think of. 3 people with HTs that I'm not using anymore, and 1 person I gave a mobile setup, including a 2-meter, 70-centimeter J-pole cut out of a piece of ladder line. But I certainly have enough stuff. I got a lot of encouragement from people to get into the hobby, and I'm grateful for that. Greetings all, happy Easter and happy Passover, depending on what you celebrate. Back to net.
All right, thanks for checking in, Harris. Happy Tuesday night, TechNet. ZS6ZYM. Good evening from South Africa. This is KE7K. Have you ever been gifted any ham radio equipment?
KE7K, ZS6 Yankee Mike. Good evening, Kevin. Good evening. Two South African stations. Hello, Tom. And trust you're well, Kevin. Yes, I was a VE for many years. So I was really involved with new candidates. I have received much equipment during my 32 years. And about 70% of that I paid forward. I was a big antenna builder. I built antennas, analyzed it, tested for a week or two, and gave it to a new ham. So that's my story. Back to you, Kevin, from Zulu Sierra 6 Zulu Yankee Mike, and the time is approximately almost 4 o'clock in the morning in South Africa. Back to you, sir.
Yeah, very good. I appreciate you checking in. Sounds like you're about 9 hours ahead of me here on the West Coast. It's just past 7 p.m. in the evening on Tuesday, so 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. is about 9 hours. I guess that's a 6-hour difference from the East. Thanks for checking in. Caleb in Washougal, Washington, Whiskey 6 Kilo November, India. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for the net. This is W6K9. I haven't been gifted anything except for stuff from my great-grandfather who I got my from. So, W6K9.
Thanks for checking in, Caleb. Hope you're enjoying the nice day we had here in the Portland metro area in the Northwest. Bruce, Morgan Hill, California, November 6th, Oscar Hotel, India. Good evening, Bruce.
Good evening to everyone out there in the net. Brace Mr. Spy here, and yes, I have received a very memorable gift, actually, soldering iron, but very fundamental to the art. So I always think kindly of my friend Bruce and AC60N who gave that to me. And remember that every time I hit the power switch for that iron. Placed an old falling apart iron. I didn't really even know I needed one until he gave me a new one. So much better than the old one. And it's a good question. Reminds us all to give back a little bit wherever we can. And 608 try.
Yeah, 7-3 Bruce, always nice to remember somebody when you use what they gave you. A nice reminder. Good evening out in California. Andrew, Glen Burnie, Maryland, K6ADS. Good evening.
Good evening, Net Control. Thank you very much for having me. I've never received anything, no complaints, but I've given away lots of stuff. Thank you very much, K6.
973 Andrew, thank you for checking in. I will move on to the 7th call district, which is my own call district here. This is KE7K. We've got Jason, KK7ZSH, and N7WZI, Alan, via the text line. Anybody else with a 7 in their call sign that would like to check in this evening, please do now.
KJ7WOH, KJ7WOH. KK7OGC, KK7OGC.
Good evening, Marty and Fred. KJ7WOH and KK7OGC. That'll round out the 7s. We'll work this list of 4 stations. Jason in Milwaukee, Oregon, just south and east of me. KK7ZSH. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone out there. So people stay in this area, if it's really good. Let's see, have I ever been gifted anything? Technically, yes, and technically, no. Actually, my brother is sitting on this stuff, and he just sent me the confirmation of it shipping up to me, so I haven't even seen it yet, so I guess I'm getting a radio, some coax, some other stuff that I probably don't even know what to do with quite yet, because I'm still pretty stuff. So yeah, I'm getting a bunch of stuff, and he's loaning me his. It's already here at the house. I just gotta hook it up. He's loaning me his Yaesu 857Z, I do believe it is, which is like an everything radio. Bought some poles today to throw the antenna up to in here, so maybe one of these days I'll get off the HP and actually on the station. So there you go. 73 to all, and hope you have a great night. KK7 CSH.
All right, 7-3 Jason, thank you for checking in. Alan in Lubbock, Texas, N7WZI.
It's no longer Lubbock, Texas. It's Reflector, Oregon. But, yeah. I never have been gifted yet. I've got a few gifts I want to give out. That's the deal.
Very good to hear you, Alan. Marty, Troutdale, Oregon, KJ7WOH. Good evening, Marty. Welcome to the TechNet.
Good evening, Kevin. Hope you got a chance to get out and enjoy this wonderful weather here in the Portland area. Yeah, as far as the question goes, I did receive a gift from a buddy in my ham radio. It was a G5 RV Junior. It was a gift that I wanted to compensate for. Bought him a bottle of wine. But the occasion was just got my general ticket, and I wanted to start out on my HF journey, so that was what that was all about. Other than that, my family doesn't know too much about my hobby here, so they usually give me gift cards
And that works out pretty well. 7-3, back to you.
Hey, 7-3, Marty. Did indeed enjoy the last couple days of beautiful weather. Drove out to Bend, Oregon yesterday for a repeater install, and got my suntan on a little bit. Fred, Reno, Nevada, KK7OGC. Good evening, Fred. This is KE7K with the East Coast Reflector Tech Tent.
Well, good evening, all. KK7OGC, Fred in Reno. No, I haven't been gifted equipment. I've been gifted advice. And I'm fighting with my All-Star node right now with my firewall as well. Anyway, KK7OGC, back to net.
All right, good evening, Fred. Have a good evening. That'll close out the 7th. Our last call district this evening is the 8th call district. You guys were first last week, so you've had to pay your pittance this week and kind of hang out around to the end. So if you're an 8th call sign and you're still here, I appreciate your patience. And we've got Roy, KA8BYU, and W8CRW, CR, via the text line. Anybody else with an 8 in their call sign, please come now.
November 8, Mike Juliet, November. November, Mike Juliet, November.
Alpha Delta 8, Mike Juliet. Alpha Delta 8, Mike Juliet. Northeast Ohio.
November 8, Quebec, Papa Foxtrot. November 8, Quebec, Papa Foxtrot. This is Kilo Echo 8, Mike Foxtrot Victor, and KE8MFZ.
I recognize November 8th, Mike Juliet November, Alpha Delta 8, Mike Juliet, November 8, Quebec, Papa Foxtrot, and Kilo Echo 8, Mike Foxtrot, Julie 8, Mike Foxtrot, Kilo Echo 8, Mike Foxtrot Victor. Oof. Anybody else with an 8 in their call sign, please come now. All right, nothing heard. We'll work these, get you to 6 stations, and then we'll pick up any late or missed stations if they're still hanging around. Roy, Blaisdell, New York, Kilo Alpha 8, Bravo Yankee Uniform. Good evening, Roy.
Evening, Kevin, everybody on the net. KA8BYU. Oh yeah, I've been gifted some stuff, and I've also gifted 2 people some stuff. One of the most memorable was
Back after I got licensed, somebody gifted me one of those very big, very noisy reading machines. I think it was a Model 15 or a 28, can't remember, and about 6 cases of the paper. All I had to do was haul it out of his basement. And my sisters gifted me a radio after I had the heart attack and the bypass. She heard that my VX3 got crunched by some lady who came out the door and smashed the door into my side. So she went out to AES and bought another one and shipped it to me. So yeah, and the kids have sent me a couple as well over the years. So yeah, and in fact I still have one of the other ones. A friend of mine, when I got my license, gifted me a Tempo VHF-1 Plus. 2-meter rig, 25 watt, and I still have it. Yeah, it's in the other room. Still looking for the sideband adapter for it, but that's another story. Back to you.
Very good. Thank you for checking in. Next up, Marthin, Sterling Heights, Michigan, November 8th, Mike Juliet, November.
Good evening, Kevin, and everybody else on the text. I'm going to start off with first saying thank you to Dick. Second Cup gave me some good advice on casing my SWR ghost on 440. Happy to report I was able to find my problem in a bad piece of coax, and my antenna right now is running 1.0 to 1.1 across the entire band. So thank you, Dick, and everybody on the ECR for answering my TechNet question during the second cup on Friday. Now that said, I have gotten a gift, like one of those tactical ball things for Christmas. Wanted one just for fun of it. I've also gifted a few bow bangs to friends whom I want to get into ham radio. So with that, I'll say 73. Thanks for running the net. All the best. N8MJN, back to net control.
Hey, 73. Thanks for checking in. Alan, Warren, Ohio, Alpha Delta 8, Mike Juliet. Have you ever been gifted any ham radio equipment?
Good evening, everyone, and greetings to you there, Kevin. Well, I got a couple items. The first one was a Hammerland HQ100 receiver, and it was gifted to me probably about 10 years or so. Somewhere in there. I used to enjoy tuning that atomic clock with that radio. I was intrigued by the sound of the ticks and tones. And dialing in frequencies was a blast. It was really a blast. I still have that one, plan on keeping it for the duration. And there was a heat kit crystal scanner too. I remember going to get crystals for that radio from Radio Shack. Still have that. And another one I have is an amateur radio handbook. I think that was from 1962. I still have that. It was kind of those things were kind of a foundation to me getting my license and really enjoying the hobby there. So quite a difference between then and now, for sure. That's it for me. 7-3, everybody. Back to you there, Kevin. KE7K from 88MJ.
And have a good evening, Alan. Thank you for checking in. Next up is Nicholas in New Baltimore, Michigan.
Nick or Nicholas, let us know what you called by. Looks like you're new to the East Coast Reflector, and if you get a call sign on QRZ, we'll send you an email. But very happy to have you with us this evening. Nicholas, in 8, QPF, good evening.
Good evening, and thank you. Nick is fine. I'm temporarily in Livonia, Michigan this evening, but hail out of New Baltimore. I listened to 2 meters on a scanner and had a buddy that was encouraging me to get my license, and he gifted me an old of his. If memory serves, it was a Kenwood CH21, which ironically years later I learned was the same walkie-talkie basically Willis used in the movie Die Hard. So I sure wish I hung on to that to this day, but sadly I didn't. And then most recently with the tariffs looming, I did gift myself a new HF. That counts. Hi. Back to net control. This is Nick, and November 8, Quebec, Papa Foxtrot.
For checking in. We got 2 more on the list tonight before it's late and missed. Clifford and Andy, KE8MV, Clifford in Farmington, Michigan. Good evening.
KE8MV. Hello all. Yeah, I had a early Elmer who was on the radio that got me into it. Signal check.
Clifford, I heard you say a signal check right there at the end of your conversation. We heard everything up to that. You're making the repeater just fine. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, yeah, we had amateur radio, and so he gifted me a receiver, and got me hooked. That was an amazing engineer. He did some great things, and he helped me out a lot. And along the way, there's people that have helped with equipment and kind of parts and different things. Currently running a 5100. I haven't been playing a lot with radio lately, but that's my information tonight. Back to you. CRW.
Thank you for checking in. W8CRW, we got you. I'll add you to the late and missed here. We've already got W2AJR via the text line in front of you. Any other late or missed stations, please come now.
JM, Kilowatt 5, Hotel Lima Hotel, K5.
Whiskey Hotel Kilo Lima, W4HKL.
Whiskey 4 Foxtrot, Whiskey November. Whiskey 4 Foxtrot, Whiskey November. Kilowatt 5, Hotel Lima Hotel, K5.
Zulu, Delta, Romeo. right, let me grab it there and publicly apologize to Vicki. They had a way to segregate our late and missed stations. I made a bunch of notes about it, and I completely forgot. So appreciate the good work that you've done so far. W8 CRW, W2 CJM, K4 HLH, W4 HKL, KC0 BBF, W4 FWN, and the Zulu Delta Romeo station. Could you come back with your full call, please?
Romeo, KD9VDR.
All right, Kilo Delta 9 Zulu Delta Romeo, Kevin, in Chicago, Illinois, got you. Any other late or missed stations?
Correction, recheck. Kilowatt 5, Hotel Lima Hotel, K5H. Echo 2, Delta Oscar Foxtrot.
Kilo 5 Hotel Lima Hotel. Harry, sorry if I screwed it up the first time. Got you in the log. And Kilo Echo 2 Delta Oscar Foxtrot. Final call for any late or missed stations. Please come now. Call signs only.
CJM, W2, CJM. Kilo 7, Sierra Mike, November.
All right, KK7SMN, Brian got you. And Charles, I'm pretty sure I recognized you the first time through. W2CJM, you're third on the list here. Stand by just a second. This is Kilo Echo 7 Kilo. My name is Kevin. I'm located in Portland, Oregon. I'm the net controller at the moment for the East Coast Reflector TechNet. Net number 618. We are down to late and missed stations. We have 10 of them, it looks like. Tonight's question, have you ever been gifted any ham radio equipment? W2 AJR is up first. Good evening, Andy. Go ahead. Andy, are you still with us? W2 AJR. All right, nothing heard. We'll move down to CR. W8, CRW, good evening. CR, welcome back to the net. Go ahead.
Very good, Kevin, and all on the net. Yes, I've been gifted a few items. I was thinking about that. I was gifted a boat anchor power supply, a 2-meter 77-centimeter antenna, and some coax. So I've been gifted, and I appreciate the gifts. Back to net.
KE7K, WHCRW.
Thank you for checking in, CR. Charles, Selden, New York, WCJM.
Kevin and Vicky, yes, I was gifted a Bofang UV5 and a dipole antenna. Thanks for doing the net. Talk to you in the morning.
Have a good evening, Charles. Harry, K5HLH. Good evening.
Sorry about that. I was in and out, but too many to list. I used to work for an old government agency. We got Meritrax donated to the club and handhelds and given a lot away. And I got a CM or CE30 service monitor once, the tube type, and I think I gave those away too. Back to net. Have a good evening, K5.
All right, very good, Harry. Yeah, we had a bit of a pile up there. We might have missed your in and out. Thanks for coming back to the call. Steve, Cumberland Gap, W4HKL. Good evening, Steve.
Good evening, Kevin, and everyone on the net. Yes, I've had items gifted me in the past. Several amateurs have donated things to me. Your antenna, WB4IBBs helped me out a lot. Link radios, components, repeaters, and a lot of it time and expertise as well. So I have given things away in the past, hopefully trying to pay it back way up as well as I can, and hopefully, continue to do so in the future. Back to net control, W4HKL.
Good to hear you, Steve. Thank you for checking in. Steve number 2, Lincoln, Nebraska, KC0, Bravo, Foxtrot.
This is KC0VBS, Lincoln, Nebraska. Good evening to you, Kevin, and to Vicky and Scott and the rest of the room there, watching you live. The only thing I was given to me was a Bofang UV5R, because I never did have a real good HT until I got the 80 tone. So that's what's going on here. Just enjoying the match. See you guys later. KC0VBS.
Very good, Steve. Thank you for checking in. Dan, in Sanford, Florida, W4, FWN.
Well, good evening, Kevin. Everyone else on the net, it's W4FWN. Yes, just recently I've received an a vertical HF antenna that I'm presently using from a ham friend of mine for OHB. So, yes, sir. The answer is yes. Back to net control. This is W4FWN.
Uh, 7-3 Dan. Kevin, welcome to the East Coast Reflector. Looks like you're new to the group here. We'll send you a welcome letter here, mid-morning or so. I think I pick up the logs about midnight or so my time, so 3 a.m.
maybe 3:10 or so, you'll see an email in your inbox. KD9ZDR. Good evening, Kevin.
Good evening, Kevin. It's pleasure. The first time getting on here. Pleasure talking to you guys. Thank you for picking me up. Yeah, this is a great question today. And yeah, I've been lucky. I've been gifted some great equipment. My club members have been more than generous with me. I was gifted an MD 782 high Terra case that I use for GMRN and 70 centimeters. I was gifted an HP 782, a high Terra HP 782 HT that I'm talking on right now with the remote microphone, and I was gifted a Motorola XPS 2500 from various members of the same club. So yeah, ham radio's been fantastic to me, and I want to return the favor and be fantastic with ham radio. So yeah, I've been blessed. Thanks for doing that fantastic job you are, and I'll be tuning in again. This is Kilo Delta 9 Zulu Delta Romeo, Kevin from Chicago, saying hello there, everybody, and thanks for taking me up. Back to net control.
All right, 7-3, fellow brother Kevin. Hope you're here on the Reflector again. Thanks for checking in. We're going to close out the night with two Brians, back-to-back in New York and Oregon. First up is KE2DOF. Good evening, Brian.
Everybody on the net. I got my first HF. It was sold to me, but it's such a cheap price, I consider it a gift. My FT897, which I'm using right now. And then I recently gifted out a Baofeng to a buddy of mine I'm trying to encourage to get into the hobby. And I've been gifted a lot of knowledge from my club, and I appreciate that. Back to net control.
All right, 7-3 Brian, and 7-3 Brian, and good evening, Brian. KK7SMN. You can close us out this evening, Brian. Have you ever been gifted any ham radio equipment?
Good evening. Thanks for doing the net. I have not been gifted any ham radio equipment. I'm still searching. Been doing it about a year, but I'm slowly and surely adding to my own arsenal here. So slowly but surely, but yeah, nothing given yet. KK7SMN. KQ4AYH to net control. I don't know if you heard my call out.
Check in, NJ1S mobile.
Thank you for checking in, Brian. KQ4AYH, we did miss you, and NJ1S, I'll pick you up here real quick. KQ4AYH, go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. Operator, yes, I've been gifted several items. Originally it was a QIT radio. No, actually I bought that one, then I traded in for the one I currently have, which was gifted to me. It's a Yaesu 7950 water that I'm speaking to you on now. And I was gifted a tri-band, both the older, really heavy weight Baofengs. And then, of course, I bought a lot of equipment on the way, and now I bought a whole bunch of Baofeng 16 channels, a stock load of them,
for really cheap, so I give those away periodically to people interested in becoming operators or at events or to serve people to get them encouraged to get in the hands. So I've got a stockpile of those that I try to give forward. Back to net control. This is Kilo Quebec 4, Alpha Yankee Hotel, Gary, Fort Lauderdale.
All right, thanks for checking in, Gary. And Eric, I hope you know that we don't have an award for most times checking in last. But if we did, you would be at the top of the list. November Juliet 1 Sierra, go ahead.
Good evening. I am mobile. I just wanted to get in on the list. That's all. Handles Eric in Vermont Mobile. So, as far as gifting, no, I've never received anything except an HTX, I think it was, 202, old-fashioned Radio Shack 2-meter radio. That's it. Back to net, and have a good evening. 7-3. Thanks for letting me check in.
All right, you're welcome, Eric. That's your one mulligan. From now on, I call for last call. Now you're done. Thanks for checking in. Just giving you a hard time. This is KE7K. Excuse me. Your net controller this evening. I appreciate you letting me take the last third of the net. Hope everybody had a good time. On behalf of the entire East Coast Reflector team, I'd like to thank all stations who participated and those who stood by to give us a clear reflector. Now, this is Kilo Echo 7 Kilo, returning the East Coast Reflector to normal use. Good evening.